Chopper 5 shows you where that ground gave way. A mudslide carried a duplex down the hill into a neighboring home, leaving the duplex in a collapsed heap. A woman trapped inside had to be rescued. This happened about 3 a.m. on a steep Sausalito hillside just below Highway 101. The house on Sausalito Boulevard wound up crashing into another on Crescent Avenue.
We have team coverage of the slide, beginning with Andria Borba, who's been speaking with people who heard this slide in the middle of the night. Andria?
Well, Alan, Veronica, you guys have seen this mess from up above in Chopper 5. Take a look down here in the ravine right now. You can see what is left of this home. It is an absolute mess. It is a big pile right now. The good news right now is that electrical and gas lines have been secured in this neighborhood. It was 3:15 when Lisa Mulbert heard something.
It sounded like a tornado, kind of, but then I thought it was an earthquake. I can't replicate the sound.
And then she smelled something.
I got out of bed and I smelled tree, and I went in and I heard the creak, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. And I thought the door was flown open, but it was actually a tree busted through the kitchen window.
From above her, a neighbor's duplex slid down the rain-soaked hillside in a torrent of mud. This was the result, a splintered home sitting at the bottom of what Sausalito residents call Hurricane Gulch. Inside that pile of buckled walls, trapped by mud and debris, was Susan Gordon.
I really credit the rescue and the dogs for finding her as quickly as they did. She was surrounded by mud.
Miraculously, she survived with just bumps and bruises. Still missing is her cat Peach. As day broke, the catastrophic extent of the damage came into focus, along with the near misses. At the bottom left corner of Susan Gordon's house sits the pump house for the water district. Had that collapsed, more water could have come rushing down already waterlogged ravines. Tonight, the hope is for Mother Nature to cooperate.
I'm just hoping that it stops raining because this hillside is really saturated.
Now, a short time ago, we heard from the city manager here in Sausalito. They have a team of structural soil engineers here on site trying to determine what condition the soil here is in. They're hoping by tomorrow, Veronica, they have a better idea of where they go to start repairs in this neighborhood.
All right, Andrea, we appreciate that. Thanks. Now, dozens of people can't get back to their homes on that Sausalito hillside. KPIX 5's Wilson Walker has their story tonight. Wilson?
Well, here is a perfect example of what we have sort of been looking at all day here. You've got Sausalito police out here trying to manage access to the neighborhood that's effective. We're up here at Sausalito Boulevard and Sunshine Avenue over here. And as you can see, it's been a lot of cars having to turn around, people trying to get in and out of the neighborhood. Been like this all day, but let me show you a little bit of video from earlier today. And let me tell you, it poured off and on out here on Sunshine Avenue. And on these narrow streets, it was all of these folks trying to get out and all of the crews that were trying to get in here to perform the necessary repairs. In a lot of cases, the trucks like you see there had to get into these streets in reverse with their equipment. Now, of course, these are the folks that were trying to get the water fixed. They had to cut the gas line that you see there to get the gas from stopping the gas leak that they had. You had neighbors sort of turned around trying to get their homes. An endless pouring of water through this neighborhood. Kind of a mess for all the folks up here. We caught up with a couple of the folks that were either forced from their homes or just kind of came by to see what was going on out here today.
Yeah, I mean, luckily Sausalito Boulevard isn't the narrowest street up here. So in that sense, they can get in and out here pretty reasonably.
You got a plan?
No, we have a friend nearby who has a house we might be able to use, so we're going to call and see if we can get down there.
All right, that guy who I was talking to there in the pouring down rain, I ran into him about 2 hours after that interview, and he and his girlfriend had effectively packed up all of their stuff and were just carrying it out of here because their indication was that they were not going to be able to get back into their homes anytime soon. When do people get to move back in? That is obviously a tricky question. The city is trying to figure that out. They're doing soil testing up here to figure out how stable the ground is, and it may be a thing where when you get to go back home has to do with your proximity to where the slide was. If you're right beside it, that building might not be habitable for a while. If you're further away, maybe you get back. But as you can see, kind of a mess up here in the hill above Sausalito. Live Up on Sausalito Boulevard, Wilson Walker, KPIX 5.
That Sausalito neighborhood is no stranger to mudslides. Back in 1982, a slide there sent 2 homes plunging from a hillside during a powerful storm. 1 person was killed. About 600 were forced from their homes. The mudslide was threatening to destroy the Waldo Grade Tunnel. Because of that, the Golden Gate Bridge was closed.
I've just finished talking to a group of Caltrans engineers and geologists up at the Waldo Grade. One engineer says he feels at this time the highway is solid and safe, but they're going to set up monitoring devices to keep track of slight movements in the highway.
In that storm, Marin County got 12 inches of rain in 32 hours.